What's going on, everyone? Sorry about the delay. Can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure you can hear me. Um, I can't tell with the audio if you can hear me. Um, but let me know if you can hear me, and we'll get started. Let's see. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Somebody in the chat said that they can hear me. All right, cool. So today I wanted to um take a moment and not have like a really loud video, just more of a I want you guys to get to know me. Um and I'm not here to tell anyone to push harder or to manifest better. I just want to have a conversation with other women about women who are tired, who's tired of trying to convince yourself that you're okay. Um And I think that it's important because as we enter 2026, you want to start to strip back layers and be honest with yourself. So before we go any further, I just want to be clear that there's nothing wrong with being tired. Nothing. There's nothing wrong with you being scared as we enter into 2026. And there's nothing wrong if you have mixed emotions as well. That doesn't make you weak. It means that your nervous system is screaming out to you. It means that your nervous system is carrying more weight than it was designed to for too long. So, what I really want you to do is just take one deep breath with me and just know that you're going to be good. And that deep breath really isn't about like calming down or anything like that. It's basically about like signaling to your body that you're safe, that you're okay, that you hear it. And I think that that helps with some clarity. If your body knows that you're listening and that you can hear what's going on, then it kind of begins to calm itself and you start to walk into clarity. Um, okay, cool. So right now, I feel that a lot of high achieving women are making a lot of quiet decisions. And, that's a good thing because you don't want every decision to be a public one. Private decisions are basically the kinds that you're not going to announce, that you maybe think about in a car, that you think about in the bathroom or, in the shower. You might even think about it at work on your break. And those thoughts to me usually sound like, I can't do this another year. I think we've all said that. I know when I was nearing the end of my prior job, I was thinking, I don't think I can do this for another year. Not that I hate my life or not that I'm failing, but something much quieter and I feel like is more dangerous, that you kind of lose that ability to recognize yourself. And I think what's important to understand is that for many reasons, women don't move forward. The reason why women don't move forward isn't because they're lazy or they're unmotivated or they're incapable. No, that's not the reason. I feel like it's because you don't feel safe. You don't feel safe financially, emotionally, whether it's, relationship wise, you don't feel safe. You don't feel safe making decisions that you can't immediately undo. And so this conversation is not like a motivation type of conversation because I truly feel like motivation is unreliable, especially under stress. Is more about clarity because clarity stabilizes you. It stabilizes your nervous system and it kind of regulates things for you to have the ability to make better decisions. So to me, peace is a strategy. Peace doesn't just happen out of the blue. It doesn't just, it's not a feeling. It's not, And I think that in a lot of spaces, peace is framed as a reward or a luxury. And it's something that you obtain after you've proven yourself. That's not what peace is. It's like after you've accomplished all your debt, after your kids get older, after the promotion wears thin, after the burnout resolves itself, that frame is one of the main reasons why women stay stuck, in my opinion. Because if you use peace as a feeling, it becomes optional. And to me, having peace is not optional. Having peace is not a reward. And I feel like if you see it that way, then it becomes delayed. And when we start treating peace as a weakness, it becomes something that you like suppress in order to survive on a day-to-day basis. So I want you to reframe it. Instead of thinking that peace is an emotion, I want you to think that peace is not an emotion. Peace is a strategy. And is the outcome of aligned decisions, from protecting your energy, from clear boundaries, and identifying that no one, no one will get in the way and allow you to abandon yourself in order to function. No. Peace is not what happens to you when life finally slows down. And one of the things I feel like, because I go back to think to the times where I've had conversations with like my grandmother and with my mother, and one of the things that they said, oh, I can't wait to retire, working 30, 40 years. Well, you've given up 30, 40 years, and I'm not dismissing what they've done. What I'm saying is that they waited 30 or 40 years to obtain peace. It, like, to me, that doesn't make sense. And this is where things get uncomfortable but honest, because I feel that some of you guys don't need new jobs. And like I said, I read all of the comments. I feel like some of you don't need a new job. You don't need a new city. You don't need a new dramatic reset. You don't need any of those things. You need, I believe, a different relationship with yourself. Because if you bring the common denominator of all of those things, the common denominator of a new job, a common denominator of the new city, or of this dramatic reset that you want to do, that common denominator is you. That common denominator is the relationship that you have with yourself. Because right now, your relationship with yourself is transactional. That's what your relationship is. And I think that you have to be honest with yourself. You have to trust yourself, not because you're only performing. You validate yourself only if you please other people. You rest only if you've earned it. That's not peace. That's conditional worth. And I think that moving into 2026, one of the most important things that you have to do is you have to start with your internal relationship, because it doesn't matter what you do. If you allow yourself to be dictated off of conditions, you will always lead yourself to burnout. It doesn't matter. And again, to me, self-abandonment looks like, I'll just push through. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, I don't want to disappoint anyone. Oh, I should be grateful. And I'm gonna tell you something, like a lot of the nurses that I know, one of the things that they always say to me is, I'm just grateful. I'm so thankful for my job. And is the thing is that you can love taking care of patients and you can love what you do, but you don't have to, and you can be grateful for what you do, but it doesn't have to become who you are. You should be something outside of your job. And when you tell yourself, oh, well, this is just how it is. No, it's not. When you say yes, your body is going to say no, because disappointing others feels more dangerous to your body than disappointing yourself. And I just really believe that the behavior that we have with ourselves, that's the thing that has to be at the forefront of all the change. That's the thing that has to be at the complete forefront, because you overperform, because you don't trust who you are without having that output. You don't trust yourself. You tolerate environments that your nervous system has been asking you to leave over and over and over again. And look, I've worked as a bedside nurse before, and so I understand the level of toxicity that it gets. Like I understand that, but I truly believe that if you continuously stay in that toxic relationship, whether it's a physical relationship, whether it's a relationship with your job, it doesn't matter what type of toxic, whether it's a toxic relationship with yourself, it all ends the same. You always end up tolerating the environments, and you don't allow yourself to be exposed to the truth that you need. And you stay because in that situation because it's predictable. You stay because, and I said this in my last video and I'm going to double down on it. You stay because the familiar truth feels comfortable. I mean the familiar lie, I'm sorry, feels more comfortable than the unfamiliar truth. Okay, okay. Can you guys hear me? I think I'm back. My my audio went out. Okay. But I forgot where I left. Oh yeah. So to me, survival mode it is a strategy. Yes. It's a strategy that's designed for emergencies. And I actually saw one of my I saw a comment, and I resonated with that comment a lot because I get it. They were talking about being in survival mode and all of the different things that they were going through. And I totally understand when you're going through situations, survival mode is what you have to do. It's designed for emergencies, but it's not designed for you to live there your entire life. Survival mode can be incredibly effective in short bursts. Like if you want to buy a house or something like that, You want to work overtime, you want to do these things, you want to do all of those things, but you do it in short bursts so that it can be effective. It can help you adapt, it can help you endure, it can help you function under pressure. That's what survival mode is designed to do. But when survival mode becomes your lifestyle, it creates long-term damage. I promise you it do. Survival mode makes you productive, but is not powerful. It keeps you functioning, but it doesn't make you free. And the cost to me of being in survival mode for a prolonged amount of time isn't just emotional. It costs you time, it costs you health, it costs you self-trust, and it costs you your identity over time. Because you in order to be in survival mode, you have to become this person who you need to be, not who you are. And that's what happens. And the part that most people miss is that survival mode doesn't just drain your energy. It retrains your nervous system to accept less than what you deserve. Less respect, less rest, less joy, less alignment. It makes you do that because once your nervous system adapts to chronic stress, peace will start to feel unfamiliar. Peace will start to feel unsafe. And so I think that many people believe that peace comes from changing their situation. And I'm not saying it won't come from changing your situation. I'm not saying you won't gain peace from getting a new job or getting a new role or maybe a new relationship or a new environment. But more often than not, peace comes from changing the standard. And the reason why I say that is when I left my job, even before I finally decided to leave, I had a mind like I shifted in my mind. I changed my thought process. I changed how I was going to put boundaries in place. I started making these little changes so that I can figure out who exactly was I away apart from this job. And doing that requires boundaries. Not anything that's dramatic, like don't ever call me, but and not anything that's confrontational, but it requires consistent, quiet, enforced boundaries. And you have to do it over and over and over again. Because what boundaries do is it reduces decision fatigue. It conserves your energy because you will need it. It prevents like resentment and it protects your self-trust. And I actually had somebody ask me a question because sometimes I drive by my old employment and a few times I was asked, well, how do you feel when you ride by? And I'm like, I don't feel any way because I feel like I left on the terms that I was supposed to leave. It wasn't like a bitterness. It wasn't a I hate you. It wasn't anything like that. It was more of a like I'm ready. It's okay. And so to me, you can't build peace on top of people pleasing. You can't build peace on top of guilt. You cannot build peace on constant over explaining. So before you change your life, you have to stop leaking your life, giving bits and pieces of your life to people who don't deserve it. And when I mean leaking, I'm saying energy leaks, time leaks, emotional labor leaks, unspoken resentment leaks. Until those are addressed, no external changes that you can possibly make will bring you peace. So, I have two tools that I've created a Google Doc for, so I will put them in the description. These links or these little documents that I made, again, they're going to be free. Is a One is a boundary reset and the other one is a peace checklist. The boundary reset will help you identify. Can you guys hear me? My mics are acting up. Let me know if you can hear me. um yeah, let me know if you can hear me. But okay, you can hear me good. The audio might sound a little bit different, and I do apologize for that. But what I am going to give you is a boundary reset list, boundary reset, and it's in like a little PDF type of deal. I'm gonna put that in the description. It's gonna be a Google Doc. The same thing with the peace checklist, but the boundary reset list will let you know about overgiving, over explaining, and overcommitting, and it'll show you the areas in which you're doing that, and it'll give you language, like I said, to interrupt those patterns without guilt. And the peace checklist is just going to help you take an honest, no shame look at your life. My whole goal is to show you what's aligned, show you what's draining you, what you've normalized that's actually costing you more than you realize. So these tools are not for like perfect women, because I don't believe in perfection. I believe in people being imperfectly perfect. They're for honesty. And again, if you want them, put in the comments peace, but I'm gonna put it in the description, one way or the other. And a few things that I want to address, like some of the things that I've heard before, is that I want peace, but I can't be reckless, or I want to change, but I don't know what I can afford, or I'm scared to make the wrong move. And I get that, like that sense of fear, it makes sense to me. But to me, fear isn't usually a personality trait. It's from lack of clarity. And when people say that they're afraid, I feel like what they usually mean is, I don't have enough information to feel safe in order to decide. And I get it, because when you're making a big decision about your life, you want to feel good. You want to feel safe about that decision. So I did a video on the soft landing tips, so you can go back and watch that video. But I talked about how you can calculate your soft landing tips, and we literally just did that yesterday. We went through all of our bills and just kind of wanted to see where we were. And that's something that I recommend you doing, if not once a year, at least twice a year, or how often you need it. But I called it the soft landing numbers, and I think it's maybe 2 videos ago or something like that. And it doesn't tell you exactly what to do, but it will tell you what's possible. Because to me, stability comes before numbers, and boundaries come before calculations, and regulation will come before courage. So again, and I'll probably do a full, like, step by step walk through sometime in January. But I just wanted to make that clear, because your peace is not irresponsible. Your peace is not selfish, and is not something that you can earn after suffering long enough. To me, peace is the standard. Peace is the standard way of living. A standard for how you should make your decisions. A standard for what you will allow yourself to tolerate. A standard for how much of yourself you are willing to abandon. So again, if you want the tool, say peace in the comments. I did want to open up and just kind of have you guys ask me some questions if you want to. Um, so yeah, feel free. I'll answer whatever questions you may have. I'll answer it in the chat. Just let me know if you have some questions. Uh, let's see here. So right, I feel you on that. Like when you quit, yeah, when you quit a job in general, I think that a lot of things happen, and it depends on how toxic it is in your environment. And I can, again, I'm transparent. It was so toxic in the environment that I was in, that I knew I couldn't take it. But I also knew at that time that I had to feed my family. So I didn't leave right away. What I did do is, and I talked about having a 6 month peace plan. So mine was more closer to a year, because again, I knew I wanted to find a space that was going to cultivate me in the areas that I wanted to be cultivated in. And I wanted to take time, and that's exactly what I did. I waited in almost an entire year from the time that I started feeling that way to actually leave my job. Um, let's see. Absolutely. And the thing with the soft landing numbers, I just had a comment that said they were running their soft landing numbers because they don't want to work overtime because of their mental health. And the thing about the soft landing numbers is it's not meant. It's not like a, oh, if you do this you're going to get out of debt, or if you do this you're going to, this is going to happen. What it does is it puts, okay, this is what you make right in front of you, and then this is what your expenses are. And sometimes people don't even realize the things that they're paying for until you actually like look it up and you write it down. And once you do that, and once you see, okay, this is what is going to require me to live, and to live in an environment that will cultivate peace, this is what it would take. All my bills will be paid, and I'll have some money left over, or and I'm including, child care or whatever it is that you need. It'll allow you to put it right in front of your face, because 9 times out of 10 what I've seen is that most people, not all, a lot of people make way more than what their actual expenses are. And but somehow, somewhere in the middle, they fail to realize exactly where their money is going. So I do believe that doing your soft landing numbers is helpful, because it's going to allow you to see this is exactly where your money is going to me. Let's see here. Hours every mail center at a post office. Yeah, definitely. I thank you first of all for your service when you were working at the post office, because I think that that's one of the most difficult jobs. You have to have customer service, plus you got to make sure you get everybody mail right. So I am sure that that's probably hard to do. So I do appreciate that, and I get it. Sometimes when you're fed up and you just got to do what you have to do, but again, that's why I talk about having your soft landing numbers, and I truly do believe the moment you, even if you start a new job, you should always do your soft landing numbers. You should always have that available. You should always have your soft landing numbers and a 6 month peace plan in place, or working towards that the moment you start a new job. And I also believe that you should keep all your options open. And I mentioned this in my last video, but someone had said to me that a while ago that they go on interviews all the time, even if they're happy with their job. And what that does is it helps them with their communication skills. It helps them be more sharp when they have interviews. So it helps them with a whole lot of things. And so I recommend that to anybody. Like, even if you're happy with your job, still go out there on interviews. Still see what's out there. You never know what you might end up, or what you might get offered for, or what you might end up with. Let's see. Before myself and the job to give myself time to reset life and figure out. So yes, a soft landing job. I feel you. I feel you on that one. There's not too many more. It's not a lot of them out there, but they do exist. A lot of people like the work from home jobs. I would definitely give that a try, depending on what your skill set is. But yeah, I feel you on that one. Any suggestions for starting over? Um, I definitely think that when you are going to start over, I think it starts here. I think you have to figure out, one, what you want, and number two, who you are. Like, what environments, like, what is your hard nose? What environments will you not subject yourself to? How can you make yourself better? I do think when you're going to start completely over, I think that you have to start over with getting to know who you are. I think that's one of the hardest things, because as we go through in our different toxic environments, our meet different people, I believe that somehow, some way, we end up a little bit further away from ourselves. So I feel like when you're starting over, you truly have to do that. You have to figure out yourself first. And as you're figuring out yourself, I do believe that you'll gain a clarity into which direction you really want to go. So, I believe that everybody has a passion and everybody has something that they're good at. So, somewhere in the middle is where you want to land. Something where it may not be exactly your passion and it may not be exactly what you're good at. It's just something in the middle. But I believe that ground zero has to start with you. Oh, we all got to call out sometimes. I feel you on that one. To keep plugging along at my job until my child is grown. But it has a up down and I'm starting to feel burnt out. Yes. So sometimes that happens, and I get that. Yeah. So as you guys know, I have a daughter that's in school, in college right now. So I definitely understand when you stay at a job, but just because you stay at that job doesn't mean that you have to endure everything to the point where you get burnt out. I think that you start setting boundaries, work related boundaries, bit by bit by bit, so that they kind of understand, like, hey, yeah, these are what your boundaries are, and of course they're going to always try to test it. But I do feel like if you're going to stay at your job, I do feel like 6 month peace plan, have something in place. I do feel that it's important to make sure that you are putting yourself in a position to have those boundaries, to do all of the things that you need to do. Trying to define what my natural talents are. Oh, everybody has natural talents for sure. Um, what do you like to do? I think that's what you need to start from. Start from what the thing is that you really, really, really like to do. And once you figure out what you really, really like to do, then think about what you're really good at. And I would honestly create a list. Create a list of all the things you like to do, and then create a list of all the things that you're good at, and see what matches. And if you do that, I guarantee you'll find something somewhere that matches that you can kind of lean into. That's what I would do. Um, yeah, I mean, to me personally, YouTube for kids. I think that's excellent. YouTube is the long game. And so if YouTube is something that you do, again, I think that if you figure out what you're good at and you figure out what your passion is, you'll find a good little space in YouTube. And the best advice that I got when I decided that I was gonna go and start a YouTube channel was, um, make sure you're helping people along the way. Make sure you're serving people along the way. Whether it doesn't matter whether it's just a good word or whatever it is, but I believe that you can't go wrong as long as you're serving people. And I say serving people, maybe I should say be of service to people, something like that. April. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Part of my piece. Yes. Boundaries is so important at work. Like, I have some very strict boundaries in a lot of situations, and including in anything that I'm going to do. I just think that as soon as you're introduced to something, you need to make sure that you have boundaries, and it's not for, oh, you don't like people, or you don't like this, or you don't like that. It's really just to protect your nervous system, because things can get overwhelming real, real, real quick. And that's when your boundaries are definitely tested. So I believe wholeheartedly in boundaries. Okay, so you like making videos. My next question to you would be, what do you like making videos about? So you like making videos. What is it that you like making videos about? And what is it that you're good at? And there you have your answer. You like videos. You like making. What do you like to make videos about? And then what are you good at? So make videos about the thing that you're good at. Perfect. I'm sure there are kids that want to know about animals. So maybe you can do a YouTube series about going to the zoo. Like going to different zoos around your local area, and then branching out. Maybe you can do something about that and talking about the different animals and stuff like that. That would be something that's excellent because there's animal lovers everywhere. So maybe that's kind of like your niche. Mhm. Absolutely. Administration in healthcare systems, they're real funny to me because um, administrations in healthcare systems, they want you to believe that they're helping you. They want you to believe that they're working on staffing. They want you to believe that they're there for you. But the problem with administration is their bottom line is always money. It doesn't matter. Your bottom line is helping people. Their bottom line is trying to figure out ways where they can save money and make money. That's what that's the whole sole purpose of administration. And when administration gets mad at you, this phenomenon happens. They get into this mode where they want you to know that they know that you need them. That's what they do. And so I think that having boundaries, having knowing your soft landing numbers, and having a 6 month plan is important, especially to me in healthcare, because while healthcare is supposed to be to help people, I have realized over the years that it's a corporation. And at the end of the day, because it's a corporation, and corporations like to save money and make money. So you're always going to be in that loop of trying to figure out where you stand. And the more that you give to administration, the more that they're going to take. They always do. What else do I do besides YouTube? So I am a nurse practitioner. I specialize in cardiology. Um, and so I do that. YouTube. I'm not on any other streaming, I guess, platform. Like I'm not on YouTube and I'm not on Instagram or anything like that. So I'm solely on YouTube. Generally, I do at least one video a week on Sundays. Um, I'm thinking about starting to do 2 videos a week, but that's essentially what I do for my job. I am a nurse practitioner. Yes, I did. So I was working in um, a high octane environment where sometimes we would see um, up to 40 new consoles, like new patients a day, and it was a very busy hospital, huge hospital, very busy. And I worked on the inpatient side, and so it was very demanding. And my shifts were very demanding. Sometimes I would have to do 24-hour shifts. And wow, and I was there. I actually talked about that in my last video. If you want to go check it out, I talked about how I started from the bottom at this corporation, and I got my first job there when I was 23 years old. And of course, I had to go through school and all this other stuff. And I was there for a very, very long time. No, I was 22 when I started there, but I was there for a very long time. I started from the very bottom of the corporation and had to build myself all the way up into a nurse practitioner. And I worked all those hours. Part of me felt indebted to the corporation or to the hospital. I didn't call it a corporation at that time. Part of me felt indebted to them because they gave me an opportunity where I felt like I did not have an opportunity elsewhere. What I later realized was it wasn't that I didn't have the opportunity elsewhere. I just didn't allow myself to see what opportunities existed because my nervous system was so beat down and I didn't know exactly who I was separate from the hospital. Hello. Is that Chris? Hey, hello, hello. Yeah, so I said that I was going to pick um the winners and I'll put it in my community page as well. I said that I was going to pick the winners of the giveaway, and I think we're a little over 10,000 subscribers. So I want to go ahead, and if I butcher anything as far as name wise, I do apologize. Um, but I am going to go ahead and pick the winners of that in just a second. Um, and if I do butcher your name or I say it wrong, I will go ahead and put it in the community page. But congratulations to at is it April World Dash FC 1DC. Um, you're one of the winners of the giveaway. And so if you're on this live stream or if you watch it later, I'm going to post something in the community page and hopefully it'll give you an alert with the directions on how to get me your information so I can make sure that you get the gift that I want to send to you personally. And again, it's not something that's branded or from YouTube, it's truly from me. And again, it's just something to show you guys that I appreciate all of your support. So that's the winner number one. Um, Winner number two is at Fuller Mourc. Hmm. I hope I said that right, but that's winner number two. Again, I hope you guys enjoy that. And then the last person is this at Charlie style or something like that. Nonetheless, CharlynEstyles. So those are the three winners of the giveaway. Again, I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. I truly, truly, truly do. Words can't express how much. And again, my biggest thing is if no one has said this to you today, I want to make sure I say this to you. Choosing yourself before your body forces you is not a weakness. I I promise you it's not. It's wisdom. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of this live. Again, words can't describe how thankful I am. I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys probably in the next video. I think I'm gonna post on maybe Wednesday on the 7th. I think I'm gonna post on a Wednesday, and I'm gonna probably do 2 videos that week. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. I truly, truly do. My name is Naisha Nicole. As always, peace.